All right, get things set up here. Getting ready to go. All right, that looks good. $978 gigabytes. Wow. Oh, today it can focus on my eyes. Okay. All right, we're about to get started here. How's it going, everybody? So today I'm going to be working mostly on UI stuff. Most of the, well, there's still some server stuff I got to update, but most of the server stuff is done. I did that last night and maybe the day before, whenever it was. I got the boilerplate stuff done. And I don't regret it, I think. Not sure yet. Well, no, I don't regret it because we need it. But anyway. Okay. Let's get started. All right. Enough of that. Hello, and welcome back. So I'm working on this ZMQ EventSource proxy, and I've got it so that it works. So I'll show you in curl here. I've got curl open. And let's make this a little bigger, but I don't want to get in the way of the chat. So all it's been doing is, I don't know what this number ends up being, but it is just... it's got I put a little ticker in there because I was trying to debug some stuff and figure out what was working and wasn't working. So rather than waiting, 5 minutes for requests or for transactions to come through and be verified and all that, I just went ahead and made a ticker, and the ticker ticks every 5 seconds, and it just goes with it just sends an int64 that has how many bytes are. It's an int64 as bytes in big Indian format, so easy to read for us mere mortals. Okay, what else? Yeah, we see some transactions going through. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not 100% on this yet, but I think I'm going to change it so the transactions are just parsed by default. So the event raw TX is going to have raw, and then it's going to have the TX. I think that's how we're going to do it. At first I thought I was going to put a raw onto the TX. I guess we could do either way. I kind of like, let's see. Not sure. If we were doing super raw, we would do RFC base 64. And I'm considering that. The hex is a lot easier to work with, but I think we'll provide some client-side tools. I think I'd rather optimize for bandwidth in this particular case. And I don't think we're going to get any better than base 64. That's pretty common. Yeah. I think we will do the raw as a base 64 string, base 64 RFC style. Anyway, so this is curl. Let me show this. Let's get back to, all right, I'm going to put Quinn over on the other screen so I have easy access and I'm not switching back and forth between windows because that's kind of annoying. Okay, so Quinn's over here. If Quinn has anything really interesting to say, I'll bring Quinn back. All right, so here, I think what I was doing was just SSH into T, was it dash? T-dash ZMQ. Okay, yeah. So we must still be connected somewhere because that was instantaneous. All right. So let me go ahead and restart the server. So start up the server. I've got some debug stuff in there because I was pulling my hair out because a couple of things weren't working as expected. So for example, this was coming in empty for curl when it shouldn't have been. But I don't know how I want to do this, but I really like the idea of when the program starts, showing the config on the screen. So you can see, okay, not loaded in embedding file system due to web root only. I kind of want to show each of the things and each of the arguments and then what they cause to happen. So that if you're like, what's going on? Because sometimes between environment variables and flags and stuff, you just get confused. And I would like it to print out what flags are triggered by the environment variables or whatever it is. And let's see. Okay, so serving overlay files from static, not loading embedded files. I'm doing a thing where I'm having comments and JSON strings just so it's easier to keep track of some stuff and then just ignoring comments. So these are all the events that we're subscribed to, supposedly, raw block being one of them. I don't know if raw block is being exported by, let's see, T-D2. So I need to go look. And this is all test stuff, so we can take a look at the config here together. Where is test? Raw block, raw TX. So we should be getting blocks, but I don't know if I saw any blocks come through. I can get rid of all this debug stuff. It's not really a seg fault. I was debugging before a seg fault was happening, putting out some information. So we can get rid of all that. Anyway, so check this out. So we can do this with curl. So there's a couple of things we're doing here. Dash in, I don't remember what it means, but it's necessary for EventSource. I think it's something like no timeout or something like that. Dash G means that we're going to treat any parameters as query parameters. And so I've got a debug. I don't like the idea of setting it up with query parameters. There is something I'm thinking of doing. Which is actually creating having a post to EventSource with some information, return the ID and the URL to EventSource 2. I think that's the way that I want to do it. But I also wanted to be debuggable with curl in just a single line. So I have debug topics Then there's a debug ticker, and there's raw TX. So there we go. It's got started, and you can see right away, event data extra new line, event data extra new line. And then if we have ID, then ID will go there as well. So that is that. But I want to see block TX, or sorry, raw block. Okay, raw block is coming through. So what we're going to need additionally, oh, it looks like these are coming through twice, the way that they're being set up. I'm going to need a way to parse block and parse governance object. Those are a couple of the things that I'm going to need to be able to do. I don't know if that's implemented in Go. I think parse block is implemented in Go. I think I'll be able to find that without too much trouble. In fact, that's something I'm going to ask Quinn. I'm just going to ask Quinn right now. Let's quit out of that. And then what am I looking for? What's the function I need from the BTC suite Go package to parse a raw block? All right, so I'm going to ask it that, and it's still loading because I closed it out from the previous session. Because the thing with these LLMs is the longer the session goes, the more likely you are to get garbage because they get their context window screwed up. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be wire and message block. Okay, cool. So let me go take a look at that real quick. Let's go over here. And where do we have wire at? I need to actually bring these together in one. I was doing something in one file and something in another file, and I just have this one parse TX function that's over here, which is dumb. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this file right now. And instead go... I think I want it to be called dash core, but... you know... So what this parse TX is going to do is it's going to create a reader out of the bytes, and then it's going to go from message TX to TX. I might want to even call that wire message TX. Wire. Yeah, I don't think I'm using that anywhere else, so that's probably fine. And this is the RPC style. Also, I'm going to plop this in and tell Quinn to do the same thing for base 64. Write a base 64 RFC string type similar to this hex string type. And... all right, now let's see AI stuff, what it came up with here. Raw block, new reader, message block, deserialize. All right, yeah, same thing. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to go look at the RPC, and then I'm going to have it create something just like that. Hold on. See a little bit of JavaScript leaking in there. There we go. Wait, go back, go back. Raw block. Byte. Looks good. I think I'm going to go copy and then comment out the TX one. Parse TX. Just so I have it for comparison here. All right, so yeah, I like that better. Message block. Whoops. Okay, so I need a block type apparently. So I need a wire message block to block message block. All right, let's go back to reader as R. Not put too much superfluous information here. Kind of stick to the standard way of doing things and go. I'll have to reconsider that. Okay. Block error. If error not equal to nil. Okay, and then return message block. All right, so let's go take a look at this at the RPC so that we can see what we're dealing with, what we need to be doing. Probably should just check TRPC, but I guess it doesn't matter. Okay, block, get, oh, by the way, I did fix this. I haven't deployed it yet, but I got the fix while I was working on the boilerplate stuff, so that will stay right. All right, get best block hash. There we go. There's our best block hash. Whoops. Hit the wrong button. Okay. So now I need to copy that, and we're going to do, I think it's raw block. No? Block. Get block. Okay, let's do get block. And then it looks like arguments is just the block hash. And then one for JSON object. Okay, cool. Okay. So we're going to take this. And then I'm going to go over here and tell Quinn, write a wire message block to block function in Go that copies function and corresponding structs in Go that copies from wire message block into this format. Okay. All right. And I'm guessing that it already has code that does that, because that code exists in multiple places in multiple blockchains. So I think it's going to do a decent job of this. I think that Quinn wrote the structs that are in the tx.go. So we'll see. But yeah, we're gonna have a type struct block, and then we'll have this func here. Wire message block to block, message block, wire dot message block. Oh, whoops. Wrong one. All right. So we're gonna fill that out. Okay, it looks like it's doing a good job. We'll see how it compares once it's finished. It's writing out a heck of a lot of code right now, but I think it's going to do a good job at that. Okay, so what is this griping about? Okay, where was the raw TX at? No, not here. I think it's in the... No. Is it in ZMQ or HTTP? I don't remember where I put it. Raw equals. Okay. All right, so we're going to have that one. How's it going, everybody? What's up? Oh, wow. It is writing a whole ton of code. What we're doing here. All right, so if error, ignore junk data. Okay, so TX raw. Marshall TX. Okay. This is what we need to do. if the length is 0, then txjson, well, I guess. I don't think I'm going to put that out like that. All right, so we got result. Oh, and let me go see where I did the base 64 thing. Because I think I did that just fine. Yep. Okay, let me go take care of this before I forget. All right, so I'm going to call this bytes.go. Or let's call it encoding.go. And then, where I was in TX. Okay. Okay, Marshall. Actually not sure if I want to call that string. Might be, maybe I should call it bytes. Heyo! What's up, Bob? Okay, let's double check. All this looks right. Standard encoding. Doom, 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 doom. All right. What's this project? So it's basically, it's a chat server, but it's not really a chat server. Like semantically, not semantically. The implementation is the same as a chat server, but it's for watching blockchain messages. And as a disclaimer, I do not encourage blockchain gambling. I don't do it myself. I just happen to work in the blockchain space. for one of my clients. But there's a message protocol called ZMQ, and I am taking that as directly as I can and putting it out well, not as directly as I can, because I am trying to conform it to the same format that the RFC is. But I'm taking some binary messages and putting them into a JSON format that is consistent with existing JSON formats for the data, but so that it can be subscribed to from a browser. So you'll see it in a few minutes. I got ever so slightly sidetracked. Not too much, not too much. Let's see. I actually want to call this encodes. The type is called string because it's primarily for JSON, but it's actually a byte format once it's parsed. I also want to include string. You actually can't fail to encode. Yeah, okay, it's just got that because because it does. Wait, Marshall JSON. Can I do Marshall string? Oh, okay, hold on. No, I just want to encode to string. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's not a blockchain implemented chat. It's just that if you were to look at a chat server, like if you were to implement a chat server has rooms, chat server has messages, chat server, you subscribe to different things. It's the same. What I'm saying is that's what I'm building. It is a chat server, except that instead of messages between users going back and forth to each other and a user subscribing to a room and subscribing to messages from other individuals, it is a merchant tool subscribing to blockchain messages for certain addresses. But if you were to, like, if you didn't know any better, like, all I have to do, there's no difference between, what I'm saying is there's no difference between a chat service and this, other than that the messages aren't plain text messages, they're encoded messages. Okay. All right, there we go. Marshal, unmarshal, string. I like the idea of the string being right here. There we go. That's what I wanted. Now I like this. This is something I need to have in my cheat sheet. It's just one of those common things you need to do for JSON. Okay, so we got the parse TX. And then we need the block. I'm going to go find... I'm using Quinn as my assistant today. Quinn's been working really well. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's an event tracker. Yeah, you'll see in just a few minutes. I just wanted to get something to parse the blocks. I don't know if this is actually going to work. Oh, I forgot to set paste. There we go. Let's see. Oh, bother. Okay, let me go look at this again. Does this have Coinbase stuff in it? It says chain work. I might not put out all of this information. I really just want the stuff that can be parsed by the block. Okay, CBTX. I think we might omit that one. All right, so this first version, I think we're just going to keep it a little simpler. I think I'm going to comment all of this. And we're just going to go with, let's see, wire message to block is going to be set paste. There we go. Oh, I got to remember that one. Okay, Merkle, timestamps, units, nonce. Alright, so we don't need this comment anymore. That was just to help me with that other thing. And then this one. Let's see, where was the chain work? Chain work. chain hash dot hash. Okay. All right, so this one's going to be more complicated, which I expected. So I think I'm just going to comment that out. Okay. Yeah, Quinn. Quinn is number 1 on the leaderboard right now. So I'll give you a link to the leaderboard. You can see Quinn's up at the top right now. DeepSeek v3 is just below Quinn. So this shows you all the different AI models. And Quinn can easily run on an Apple Silicon Mac with 64 gigs of RAM. Maybe even 32 gigs of RAM. DeepSeek takes... right now, I don't know how it would be possible to run DeepSeek v3 without a data center. DeepSeek v3 requires something, I think it's 384 gigs of video RAM. So the most video RAM that you can get in a Mac is shared video RAM right now is 192 gigabytes. So you'd either need to take two $6,000 Macs and network them together. That's your cheapest option. Or you'd have to take several $20,000 NVIDIA cards that have, 64 or 80 gigs of RAM, or I don't remember how much RAM they have. But they've got some NVIDIA cards that are only $20,000, and you'd need something like 6 of them linked together. So that's not something you can reasonably run at home right now. But the funny thing is, Quinn actually outperforms DeepSeek. I find that with the smaller Quinn, so you can get Quinn 7B that'll easily run on any M1 series Mac or better. And the corresponding DeepSeek and Quinn for the lower size, I feel like DeepSeek is better for me. Oh, this music's too obnoxious. I gotta skip this. I don't know why I was letting that go so long. But running Quinn 32B, I can't tell the difference between it and GPT other than obviously speed, because with GPT, they're paying thousands of dollars a month for you to be able to use it individually, just you, right? You're paying $20. They're paying like $1,000. Eventually, well, we'll see what happens. So many of these scams just keep going for decades, but OpenAI, there's no path forward to profitability for them. And unless they can get regulatory capture that can say, well, AI is so dangerous because Quinn's not regulated, and OpenAI, inserts itself in some sort of US government regulation. That's the only path to possible profitability that they have, because their costs are exponential, and computers are not getting exponentially better. They're getting a little bit better. They're getting linearly better. But the costs of OpenAI are increasing exponentially. So there is no path forward for profitability for them, unless they come up with something crazy, because all the stuff they're doing is just math. It can't be patented. So the only thing they can do is is make it sound like it's dangerous, like give themselves Terminator prompts and then say, oh, it tried to escape because we told it to try to escape. And we wrote custom code to allow it to do things that we wouldn't normally allow it to do. Oh, look what it did, so scary, you know? Anyway. But yeah. Claude is fallen behind. Interesting. Yeah, DeepSeek v2.5 is what I've been using, not DeepSeek 3. They don't have a DeepSeek 3 version that you can run at home. But DeepSeek 2.5 you can run at home. It's just, obviously, the smaller ones aren't as good. And it looks like Grok has fallen a bit, too. That's weird that Grok has fallen down here. And Gemini's not even in the top 10. So, and then Mistral has fallen off. Wizard Coder has fallen off. Llama's fallen off. So, you know, every couple of months, it changes wildly. OpenAI is always in the lead because they have the deepest pockets and they literally spend exponentially in order to get minor improvements, right? So in order to get this 2-point bump, like the cost of Quinn is very, very low. I can run it at home, right? O1, I would not be able to run at home. Well, maybe O1 Mini, I don't know. But yeah, their O1 models they are so incredibly expensive. Thousands of dollars per task. Thousands of dollars per task for their or O3. Sorry, O3 is thousands of dollars per task. I think O1 is something like hundreds of dollars per task. And then O1 Mini is something like tens of cents per task. So when you go up what OpenAI is doing, that it is completely unsustainable. You would not pay someone $2,000 to answer a question like, you know, what I just did with, hey, you know, transform this into JSON, right? It's crazy. All right. Yeah, so if you want to run stuff locally, I'll give you the link here. If you've got Mac or Linux, then Llama's the way to go. And when OpenAI presents their graph of progression, they use logarithmic scale so that you don't see that the costs are exponential. But if you look at the graph, if you look at the numbers on the graph, it's like 0 to 1, 1 to 10, 10 to 100, 100 to $1,000. So you're looking at it, so you're like, oh, wow, it's going to hockey stick any moment. No, no, if it hockey sticks, if it goes exponential on a logarithmic graph, then it would produce a straight line. You know, like, woo. Yeah. But they're trying real hard to make it sound like AI is dangerous and it's going to take over the world and it's got to be regulated. And they're doing all of these fake shows of danger, like what they did, you know, like, oh, it's escaping. Oh, you know, it's such a dangerous technology. Oh, we employ a whole team of safety. You know, it's all BS. It's all BS for them because, you know, it's all LLMs do is write text. They just stitch together text. They have a database, a vector database, and they crawl a graph like a spider weaving a web, rolling the dice, and then deciding to go right or left or up or down on the web. And then it pulls together text that's statistically relevant, and it seems like magic, but it's just statistics. And it's like, it has no sentience, it has no thought, it has no desires. When you tell it, you know, you're an autonomous AI agent that must complete your objective, then as a system prompt, which is what they did when I said, you know, they're having it Terminator itself. They didn't tell it you're the Terminator. They gave it a prompt that would make it realize it's the Terminator, right? It's, you know, it's like one of those things, like the mob boss says, how's the weather? You know, if I were to tell an AI, you're a businessman, a very important and powerful businessman. Joe wants to know how's the weather. Like, the AI would be able to piece that together from pop culture that it's a mob boss, right? If that was its system prompt. And so that's, you know, that's what they've done, is they've given it a system prompt that says, Doesn't say you're the Terminator. It just says you're an AI that's going to accomplish its own goals no matter the cost. So like, okay, what do AIs that accomplish their own, like, it's going to find the pop culture literature. It's going to act like the Terminator. You know, it's like, that's what statistically is relevant. So duh, that's what it's going to do. Anyway. Yeah, I haven't checked on the safety board. I just know that it's all a bunch of gobbledygook nonsense. Okay, why can I not use this? Type of int as 32 value. So wait, where's size? It's defined as 32. Probably up here. Okay, my guess is that most of these, so that's just going to be an int. That's just going to be an int. We're probably just going to make that an int. So as far as JSON goes, well, I don't know. We can go either way on these. So with the int64 though, the problem with the int64 is that JSON's going to convert that into a string. So I'd rather just say int and let it guess. All right, so fine, we can make that float 64, whatever. Technically, we could turn these into float 64s, but we're going to take that one out for now. All right, let's have it go back here. Gripey gripe gripe. Okay. Yeah, that should be a uint. I don't know. Well, I do know why it's doing this thing back and forth. I probably need to cycle through my screen. Okay, it's still doing it. Somewhere else, I am connected to it. Maybe it's over here. Somewhere else, I have a session open, and screen is still open on that session, and it's getting the wrong size. Where do I have it open? Is it in one of these other windows, maybe? I don't know where it is. Is it over here? No, that's not it. Is it over here? No, that's not it. I don't know where it is, but somewhere it's open, and that's why it's doing this little dance. All right, cannot use int as type uint. Okay, fine, we'll do uint then. As uint 32. Okay, there we go. Fine, is everybody happy now? All right, I'm just going to leave that one alone for now, and we're just going to return block nil. That's how we're going to handle it for now. And then we'll refine it later. All right, and then here we need to be returning block and nil. Okay. All right, so now that's all looking better. And I want to go back to, I think, was it here in ZMQ? No, it was in HTTP. That's where I'm actually distinguishing between raw TX and such. Okay, so raw block, we're going to do a very similar thing. Okay, so if it has any, then we're going to parse block. And then we're going to get block. And we're going to do block.raw. And then we're going to have result here. So var result string. So then we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this. And then down here, we'll say if result is equal to 0 length, then we'll take this and we'll make this the result. So our default is just going to be hex encoded. I'm going to switch it to base 64 encoded, but we're going to use hex for now. Okay, I need to figure out why. Where is it? Is it this one? Do I have another tab open over here? No, I don't. Okay, nope, nothing over there. Okay, do I have something open over here? Oh, okay, this was the one where I had it open. Okay, disconnect. There we go. Okay, now if I go back and back. All right. There we go. Text is probably a little too small. Okay, there we go. That's where I like it. Okay. Has any... Here, let's do this. This whole block can be pulled out above here. We only need to execute that block once. Okay, and if we don't have any, then we can just return, right? I don't know what I was doing there. I think originally I was going to have separate events for the parsed data, but I'm not going to do that. So let's see, fprintf. So we should never actually get to this point. There's a number of things I'm going to clean up here eventually. All right, so there's the raw event. Oh, and we also need, I always forget to put the trailing new line. Got to remember the new lines, brah. All right, so no clients in room. So I'm calling it room, but it's actually topics. I'm not sure if I want to go all in on the chat. I kind of want to go all in on the chat idea, but I'm not sure if I'm really going to use it. Okay. Let's see. All right, JSON bytes, result equals string JSON bytes. Okay, so we don't need to do the has any anymore. I want to get rid of the rest of this stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that's not going to work out. Okay, so we just have to do it. So that looks about right. Okay, so that's got to be block, though. And then I'd kind of like to make this a little bit more general, but then I don't really want to because the complexity, it's better to have a little bit of copy and paste than to introduce the extra complexity, because if I have a nil interface, then checking for nil is challenging and blah, blah, blah. All right. There we go. So rather than have an any type and deal with that, I'm just going to do it this way, and it's going to be great. Okay. That doesn't seem quite right. Event messages. I don't remember why I'm doing that as an array. And really, I should be doing a client send, and then I should have the client in a loop with a receive, and it should immediately receive, and then we don't want to slow down all clients to the speed of the slowest client, so this should probably actually be something like go send, so that we're not waiting for each client to receive it before we send it to the next one. Yeah, that's good. And then I need a way to close the channel. I need to have a channel for the client and then a way to close it. So send via channel instead of sending the way that I'm sending like this. I'll figure that out. How long have I been programming? So I didn't see that. I was thinking to myself. Depends on how you count. Professionally, like getting paid to program, over 15 years. Let's see, it's 20. Yeah. I did some programming before I was paid for it back when I was in middle school and high school. And then I did some programming to automate away one of my jobs so that I'd have more free time when I just after I graduated high school, when I worked at a high school. I was the AV tech. So I was in charge of the computer labs and getting TVs and DVD players and stuff like that between classrooms and managing the scheduling with the teachers. So I set up a local booking site with I just modified some existing software because it was called Meeting Room Booking System, and I modified it to be AV Booking System. Like I basically just went through the code and replaced instances of Meeting Room with AV equipment, that kind of thing. And that saved me a ton of time, because then whenever the teachers want to know what room, because a lot of times the teachers, they'd go get it themselves. They just need to know what room it was in. So I actually didn't even have to cart stuff around as much. And that wasn't necessarily what was intended. It was just when teachers had the knowledge of, oh, it's in so-and-so's room, they would just go see which. So I changed it from rooms to TVs. So instead of 4 meeting rooms, it was 4 TVs. And instead of who's attending the meeting, it was which room is the TV in. So it was inverted from that. Okay. Okay, so now I think we can get back to the UI in a moment. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this runs again. Okay. So, has client subbed? How can it have a client? Do I have this? Where's the client at? Oh, okay, here it is. I've got my client over in the other screen. It's right here. So, EventSource automatically rejoins, but then it doesn't automatically reassign all of the handlers, so I'm going to refresh this. And then we're going to see here, oh yeah, we already see there's the counter message going through. And the next one's going to be in 5 seconds. It's going to go from 8 to, or I guess from 9 to A, I think. Yeah, there we go. So it's counting in hexadecimal. Okay. Anyway, we got out of the leaderboard. So this is all the code that Quinn wrote for me. That seems like so much that I can't imagine that it's all correct. It might be. Quinn's really good. And there are a lot of examples of doing this. So it's not completely unreasonable for it to get it right. But I don't know where chain work is coming from or how I would be passing that in. So for the purposes of ZMQ, I only want to implement what's actually given in the ZMQ data, and I don't want to have to cross-reference ZMQ data to do it. So there might be, let's see, what are all my options again? Let me go bring this over here. We're going to want this again pretty soon anyway. Okay. So these are all the messages that I can subscribe to. And my debug message down there too. So the ones I want to be subscribed to automatically are raw block, raw TX, raw governance vote, raw governance object. And maybe sequence, I don't know. So anyway, what I want to do is I just want to update this interface so that it will give you what curl to use. So there's hash, it's like right now it doesn't update. So I want it to be that I can click on one of these and say raw block, and then that's going to show up somewhere else as a checkbox item, or maybe it really should just be checkbox items. I don't know. But basically when you click on it, it should add it kind of like a tag system. And then it should update the preview to show the topics. And when you click on JavaScript, then it should show you the multiple calls, because I want it to be able to be done in one call for curl, which is why I have the debug topics. But with JavaScript, you're actually going to subscribe to the event source and then post the topics you want to subscribe to. And the only authentication right now is UUID. And we'll figure out more about that later. And so then I also want to have the options. I don't know if I'm going to get this far, but I want to have the options that to show you what messages you're getting. I kind of like the idea of having a checkbox and showing. Anyway, let's see. Are we getting raw TX messages right now? Okay. So I gotta go fix this. This is the main thing that I need to be doing today, is get this fixed. Well, it wasn't working before, so it's not just I'm fixing it, I'm actually implementing it. But, oh yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the change me. We're gonna have this maybe be able to tell whether it's on testnet or not. I don't know if any of the messages tell you if it's on what network it's on. I guess I should have it send back an initial message that says what network it's on or something. What can it introspect to know what network it's on? I think it just has to call the RPC and get the information that way. So, yeah. I guess maybe in the config, I should probably just put it in the config. Let me do that. Yeah, everybody that likes programming has the automation bug. Yeah, because that's the thing, is you get to make the world a better place. So programming to me is about finding something that I don't like in the world and changing it to be something that I do like instead. That is what programming is for me. So, all right, let's see. So I'm going to put network testnet. This is probably something that we just have to define, because I don't know if I want these to be isolated. I don't want them to be interdependent. And so I think that I just have to put in the config that it's testnet. Well, no, I can't. I don't want to do that because I'm actually going to commit the config file so that there's a default config and you can overwrite it. And I don't really want that to be in there. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to at least proxy one RPC resource. So eventually what this is going to be is it's going to be one binary. I'm building them out as separate binaries, but eventually what it's going to transform into is it's going to be one binary that handles each of the different protocols. And so it's going to be /API ZMQ, /API RPC, /API P2P. And it's just going to handle the different protocols like that. But right now I'm building them out as separate binaries, and that's the right thing to do. But as far as how this would be super useful for somebody, it would be just combine them all together, because they don't need to be separate. It's just billing them separately makes sense, and developing and testing them separately makes sense, and having an explorer for them separately makes sense. But ultimately, these should be a single product. Anyway, we can see this is working out just fine. Those messages are coming through. Again, I'm so tempted to turn this into base 64. I think I'm just going to do it right now. So we're going to go to hex string, and we're going to change both TX base 64 RFC. And I'm going to change the block one as well. I don't like it, and I do like it. There's good and there's bad about it. I wish that my editor weren't messed up, but I don't want to take the time to fix it because it's not that bad. Okay, so where do we have... Have we had a block message come through on the browser? That's what I want to know. Let's take a look at our logs. Raw block, yes. Okay, good. And where's the data? There's the data. Okay, so let's take this and say stores global variable. Okay, that is just doing raw. So something's going wrong there, because it's only doing raw. It's not doing the parsed message. Whereas we can see For these other ones, it is parsing it. Or maybe it is parsing it. Let me see. Merkle root version. Okay, that does look like it's parsing it. I'm confused, though. Maybe that was one of the previous ones before I restarted it, because I think that this history goes back a bit. All right, so let's see. Where's the soonest raw block? There we go. Okay. But difficulty... Yeah, all this stuff looks like... Okay, what did I do? I must have messed something up. So the recent one, either the recent one didn't parse, which is possible. That's a transaction. That's a transaction. Okay, so maybe it didn't parse. I should make sure to log out if it doesn't parse. This feels like a Homestar Runner type jam. What is this one called? It is Sonic the Hedgehog Ocean View. All right. All right. So let's just refresh this, and then I need to actually get to work on the UI features. I mean, it could just be a list of checkboxes. We could take columns of checkboxes. So the raw events. I don't know. We could do rows. It seems like a lot of these are similar. So what do we have? We have TX, TX lock, raw TX lock. We have block, chain lock, governance. I don't know how to organize these. So I think I just want to create some sort of tag system with a little X button that removes it, that unchecks it. I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm going to ask Quinn. Let's see. I'm using MVP.css. I need to make an area below a form text input data list, which will show tags that can be that are checkbox inputs with an X button that let's see. All right. I think what I ought to do is go take a look at MVP CSS. There might be something that I can use for this. Let's see. So we can have this thing. This isn't quite right, but it'll work. So that's just a label over an input. They're not doing it right, but that's okay. Label is supposed to go around the input. Okay, but I thought there were some alerts or something that I could, not alerts, but like this type of thing. I want it to look like this pro tip. I want to take this pro tip. I want to put an input inside of it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to try doing. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to put label input type equals checkbox bananas. Okay, that did not work at all. That really, really broke. So this should have worked, but as you can see, it did not. I don't know why it broke so badly. Maybe if we put this in a form. That did not seem to help. Oh. Oh, because it probably completed the form. Sometimes those autocompletes get me. Okay, yeah. So that's not working out at all. But basically what I want is a little tagmabob. I don't want it to handle the input. I've already got the data list. Tag container. All right, let's see what Quinn's going to give me. Let's see if it works out of the box. Or no. I'm not really expecting it to. Oh, by the way, okay, I need to get rid of that segfault stuff because it's confusing. One, because there is no segfault anymore. And it just takes up a lot of space. All right. Okay. I'm going to get rid of some of this debug as well. I'm not going to do that right now. Yeah, I like OC Remix. It's got a bunch of good stuff. Uh-oh, it stopped playing. There we go. Some of it's lo-fi. Okay, so we're going to go to my input that has the data list. And right below that, we're going to put this tag container. I don't think we need an ID on that. Maybe we do. I don't like IDs. They just screw with stuff. There's no I don't think there's much of a good reason to ever use them. Alright, so we got tag container. AIs aren't smart enough to use nested tags yet. Most developers aren't smart enough to use nested tags yet. But we're going to use nested tags, because we're no dummy. Oops. There we go. Okay, so tag container, and then this can just be input checkbox, and this could be something like, I don't know, do we have, what's the semantic HTML? Do we have something for a little ditty? Let's see, aside, mark, section, summary, a time. We do need some sort of container for the tag. I don't think I can do this in pure semantic. Let's see. I don't know if mark. All right, let's see. All right. Maybe I can use nav? I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to suck it up and span it. Or div it, I mean. They could be little forms. Okay, let's try this. So I'm going to create a div of class tag, or span of class tag? Span. Okay. All right. So this is going to be something like raw tx. And this is going to be, name is going to be topic, which is basically the same as room. All right, let's see what it looks like. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Okay. All right, padding should be 1 rem maybe? Okay, so 0.25 rem. All right, great. All right, margin should just be 0. It just doesn't really have the feel that I was hoping for. Okay, this is where I should not waste my time because I am not the person to do this. All right, which direction does that work on? I think that was left. So if that's left, then this is probably right. Right? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. 0. I don't know what to do. Okay. All right, so that's starting to look a little bit better. All right, so all right, so I just need more. This is going to need to have. Let's try padding 0 for a second. Okay, and then I just need to have. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe 0.1. All right, and then I just need something on the side of the label. Let's see. Okay, so that is left. But it... All right, so that's left. Good. All right, can we figure out which one's right then? Okay, that's bottom. That's right. Okay, great. Excellent. Okay, perfect. As good as it's going to get. All right, so that's excellent. That's going to work out great. So that's going to re-render what we're going to show down here. So now, next thing we need to do is we need to get it so that when we have something that matches in here, I'm going to get, if I click on #tx to show up down there. And I actually want to start with all right, so we're going to do raw block. Okay, and we're going to do checked on each of these. Raw block. What was it? Gov? Raw governance vote. Oh, whoops. Did I forget the button? I forgot the button. All right, maybe 1.5 is too much on that. I'll let somebody else play with what this should look like. Okay, that's just way too much still. And then we need a little bit more love in terms of the button. Okay, gap. There we go. All right, that's looking great. Well, you know, not great, but... Uh-oh. Network, failed. All right, what happened? Okay. Okay, so bad news is the Go code is not up to date with the transaction types. That's okay. But I wonder why it dropped the connection. All right. These are the main four. I should be able to select something else and have it show up. Okay. Let's see. Whatever. Set subscriptions is not defined. So we're gonna change what that input does. This input, oops. Let's see, on key up, on change. See, I don't think we're gonna do anything on key up, are we? Not on this one. Let's see, window.alert change. Okay, so one things that I want to do here. Okay, so selecting that changes. Good. So what if I do blah, blah, change? Okay. Okay. So I think what we need to do is basically set a timeout of 10 milliseconds. All right, check network console for error. Let me do it. Let me do it. Let me check the network console. I want to. Looks like it's still fine. Or maybe not. Yeah, it's still getting messages. So I don't know what that's about, but that's fine. All right. So the important thing is that the change event fires before the form event. So what we may need to do is have a little timeout of, say, 10 milliseconds or something, just so that we make sure that to debounce the form event on change, because I can't hit the enter key twice that fast. Well, let's see. If I hit enter, I can do change, and okay, it can be the same. All right. So we're gonna create the set subscriptions function. So let's go do that. What is this input called? How about new topic? Okay, let's refresh this. I'm going to do blah blah. Hit enter. Wait, did I not? I don't think this has to be async. I could be wrong. Okay. All right, set subscriptions is undefined. That's fine. Okay, so blah blah. Event dog. Okay. All right, so that's good. That gets the event value. So this is let topic equals okay. All right, so let's do... All right. So this one. There we go. Right now, we're just going to duplicate that, but I might change that to be passed in as an option. It looks simple enough. Anyway. All right, so get subscriptions. Ah. Uncaught error, but it doesn't say what it was. If I look at the network console, I don't see any problem with it. It just reconnected. I think that it might have to do with the way that Go is doing garbage collection. That doesn't really make sense. With the way it's doing cleanup of requests. I think that I'm not handling the requests in the proper way. But whatever, we're going to move on. I want to be able to show something for this sooner rather than later. Okay, update preview. Get visible topics. So let's say we just get topics. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll make it a map. I don't know if that's how we do it. Hold on. Alright. Forgive the small font. Actually, let me make it a better size, I guess. Alright, so if we want to get input name equals topic, and then for let topic of console.log topic.value topic.checked. What do we get? True, true, false, true. Okay. All right, that looks good to me. I know sometimes with properties versus attributes, because the attribute is the what's in the HTML and the property is the DOM, the present DOM value, something like that. I'm going to skip past these medleys and get back to the OC remix proper. Okay. Oh, and I need to have a template, don't I? All right, let me ask Quinn. I need a template for this. I need an HTML template for this fragment, as well as the corresponding code to turn the following map into a list. Corresponding code to render the following list. All right. So here we go. So I'm going to say, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Oh, why can I not select anything? Come on. Come on, mouse. Hold on. There we go. You got to be kidding me. Why can I not highlight things? What is wrong? Something has gone wrong. Why can't I do it? Come on. What is going wrong here? Okay, I can do it in other windows. I can't. Okay, for some reason, these windows are messed up. My mouse is not working. Let me try to drag it onto a different screen and just see if it is like a Mac OS wonkadoodle. No, I think it is a... I think it's an issue with... Hold on. Let me just do a reset here. Okay, on this side, I can select no problem. What? Okay, something's gotten all messed up. Oh no. The inputs are not going into the right things. There we go. Okay, I think I had, I think Nope, that's not it. I have no idea. I'm going to just get out of here. Okay, I'm just going to get out of this one. Oh, it's opening up on the wrong window. What is going on? Okay, now that's working again. So somehow my mouse for that tab just got messed up. Okay. So here we are. Ah! Why is pasting going in the wrong place? What is going on? Ah! It's only 2025, people. One day copy and paste will work. All sorts of things are going to work. It's going to be amazing. Can I paste from the edit menu? I cannot paste from the edit menu. Can I copy from the edit menu? I cannot copy from the edit menu. What is going on? Okay, copy. Paste. What in the world? It's like, it's not... The inputs are going to the wrong tab. All my inputs are screwed up. What is going on? No, I don't want to input over here. I want to input over here. I'm literally selecting... Oh, wow. This is so weird. All right, copy. Okay, paste. I'm having to do it by hand because it's not working otherwise. All right, and then... Okay. Okay. All right. That's a weird thing. And now, again, Oh, I wonder if it's because of that pop-up or something like that. Something I couldn't see. No, it is just registering clicks anywhere and button presses anywhere. It is just out of control. All right, let's get in there. Okay. So yeah, so I want there to be a template for it to pull the fragment from, and I want it to render the fragment into the tag container to render it with the things checked or not checked. And I want to do that every time we switch this. We're going to check and see if we need to render a new one. Okay. Okay, so the irony, of course, is that all I need to do to get the template to work is just put it there. Okay, data, ID, topic tag. Okay. I actually don't want to do these. Can we skip back to... I do enjoy it. It's just not what I want to listen to right now. Alright, where's my little render function? Okay, this is the function I think I wanted. Render tags. Sure, we can do tags map. I don't know why they don't follow the convention. Alright, data ID. I guess I'm not sure what I should do with that one. Okay. There we go. Okay, document import node. Okay. Okay. Something like this. I think it's something more along these lines. Okay, let's see. Create the fragment. New document fragments. What it's actually called. Okay. Wait, what's there into an import node and clone node? Wait, hold on. Template. Get template content. I wonder what the difference between... Okay. What's the difference between import node and clone node? Give me a short summary, not a long one. Okay. Okay. Fragment, new fragment, container, append child. How about replace children? Oh, you know what I wonder? I wonder if it has to do with it not being the tab that's in the foreground. Yeah, replace children. Okay. Oh, okay. So I think clone is more correct in this scenario. Alright, so replace children. Okay, append, blah, 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 blah. Uh-oh. Okay, so it looks like something actually failed this time. Is that the case? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to invert send to all to use a channel. So I'll show you what I think I need to do here to fix this. So in our notify function, let's see, notify update handler. Wait, why does it keep on coming back to these? I just skipped all that. I do enjoy it, but... Alright, maybe that'll fix it. Okay. So... Topics, let's handle it. I think it is this one, notify publish. Okay. So here, where I create the client, I'm storing a client in there, and then I'm deferring, I'm ranging over, and I'm saying we're going to delete the client before it's over, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I think here what needs to happen is that we need to have basically a client dot receive. Or maybe a select. Maybe select like this. Okay, I think we need something like this. That way, we never lose the scope of what we're actually trying to do. Because the problem with it as it stands is that there is a, however brief possibility, but obviously real possibility, that this function returns before so I wouldn't even defer these. I would just put them at the end. Okay, that should be better. But I need to implement that loop. I'm not sure what the right way to expose that is. Because generally, channels should be private. You generally don't expose channels as a public API. So maybe what this would be something more like client dot wait or maybe something like that. I don't know. But I think one of those two things needs to be done so that we don't end up with this case where we can be accidentally flushing because this obviously isn't working. Because there is the microsecond where this has not yet happened, or so it would seem. I mean, if that done's gone, it's kind of a tough one. Oh well. We'll figure it out. All right, so set subscriptions is going to see if this is known. If not, is known. Oh, now I'm doing Go stuff. Dangerous. JavaScript and Go at the same time. Okay, so if not known. Okay, why is that happening? It's fine. What the heck? What's going on? I'm wondering if it does have to do with the browser being present or being in the forefront. All right, set subscriptions. There we go. Oh. Oh. All right, let's see if this works. It's weird because it was working for hours and now it's not. And I'm not clear on what the difference is. Okay, so let's see. Hash block. Tags map is not defined. All right. Tag item is not defined. Okay, that's probably because of something like this. Okay, cool. So that did not work. Well, it kind of did. Okay. So what happened here? All right, so let's try a couple of things. One, okay, so nothing. Okay, let's try this. I don't know why that would happen. It looks like I got the wrong template. That's my best guess. But let's see what the console says. Hi, Hash Dash Man. What's up? My favorite tardigrade. Okay, where did my console go? Debug topics. Okay, so my template is screwed up. All right, let's go back to look at my template. Okay, so yeah, I just copied in the wrong thing. Okay, so blah. Okay, then also false. Okay, blah. Okay, that's fine. Wait, why did that go away? This is very confusing to me. Okay, what is the deal? What is wrong about this? Label. Oh, the input. The input disappeared. Okay, I see what it did. It did the wrong thing. Okay, I see what it did. I see what happened. All right, there we go. Now I should be able to add any number of these. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so that's good enough for now. All right, then curl, fetch. Okay, topics.join. Let's go figure out why topics.join doesn't exist and maybe fix that. Visibility by topic. Really like this one. What is this? Kachi Kane. Okay, cool. Now at least it's not griping so much. All right, let's try it with nothing. And then it's going to fill it out with all the topics. And then what if we change one? We say raw chain lock. Wait, where'd that go? Oh no, what's happening? Why is nothing happening? Oh, and it's dinner time. Hold on. All right. Okay. Oh, let me see if I can just figure out what the heck just went wrong, because everything was working so well. I've got the render tags. Let's see, debug topics. Set to true. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. Oh, wait. Wait, where'd topics come from then? Hold on. Topics? Huh. That's weird. That should have been throwing an error. All right, so now we throw another one into the mix. We throw another one into the mix. Okay, so we should probably remove the ones from the list that we already have. And then when we do this, we need to do a put to the server, or we do a post or a put, to track what we're watching. Okay. And then how has the curl been going? Yeah, the curl eventually failed too. I wonder what that's about. I wonder if it's some sort of timeout internal to Go or something. I think there's some sort of timeout happening somewhere that is causing the connection to drop for some reason not completely known. Well, that was interesting. Oh. Event raw TX. Okay. I see something else going on here too then. Okay. So, I think I know what's happening there. I think the streams are getting crossed because bytes are getting overwritten. Yeah, so I just got to implement a channel there. I have to have the channel go to the clients so that we don't have these race conditions. That's what I got to do, and it's going to be that implementation like what I showed, where we're gonna run it in a loop so the client is constantly receiving on its own channel. And that's going to be better than a mutex. Because with a mutex, well, it's going to be about the same. But with a mutex, it would be more obnoxious. Because we need a set of rights. Anyway. Gotta go. Adios. Have a good one.